Well, boys and girls, here's another one proving that Florida Department of Law Enforcement is a great big fraud. And they're basically framers for the cops. They are not framers for the citizens against dirty cops. So this is a continuation here of their lies.
So I would say that you would need to go file a complaint with whatever department it is that you're talking about that particular officer. But fdle just doesn't have the authority or jurisdiction to just come in and take over. We don't tell policemen. So fdle, like I said, that's not, we get calls every day that
I'm shocked.
against department. Oh, I'm going to complain against departments. I'm just trying to be honest with you. I'm not saying that you don't have.
Then Florida Department of Law Enforcement isn't needed. It's a great big fraud, right?
What is that?
Florida Department of Law Enforcement is a fraud. You don't help out citizens. That's a lie, right?
No, sir, that's not correct.
Then tell me the reason why when I've tried to go to everybody in my area there, and they won't do anything about a cop is threatening to knock down my door and arrest me and get a false warrant on me, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement don't care?
No, sir, I'm
Then prove it to me. Have Officer Stryker arrested. I want him warrant out on him right now. I want him arrested and thrown in jail. I want Bay County Sheriff.
Enforcement, let me help you.
Yeah, I would like to be connected to Brett Lysette, please.
Yes, sir, just one moment.
The page, fdle Facebook followers can view breaking news, get notification when an amber or missing child alert is issued, and stay up to date with important.
This is Brett.
Yeah, Brett, my friend, I managed to borrow somebody's phone.
Perfect.
Okay, now what I'm trying to figure out here.
Die, or was it just about to die?
Yeah, you know how it is. Battery went. Anyway, here's the point. I'm trying to figure this out. I am trying to be a lawful citizen. Let me just tell you the penalties of the felonies, the 5-year prison sentence on these boom cars. Alright, 80610 is interference with emergency vehicles. That is a 5-year prison sentence. 874 is called criminal gang signal instrumentalities. That's a 5-year prison sentence, okay? To break and enter into somebody's home with the concussion of their speakers, that's 1002 of the Florida statutes. That's a 5-year prison sentence. The cops can take away their vehicle under 932 contraband. 3015 of Florida statutes, the duty of the sheriff's department to arrest these punks that are going up and down the road. They can be declared as American enemies under 876 of the Florida statutes and have their vehicles taken away. Did you swear an oath to support and defend the Florida Constitution?
Absolutely.
Alright, Article 2, Section 7 of the Florida Constitution says unnecessary noise will not be tolerated. So, my friend, how many laws do I gotta look up? 6005 of the Florida statutes. It's the duty of Glenn Hess, who is the state's attorney, to arrest over these punks going up and down the road. Rick Scott, Chapter 14 of Florida statutes. It's his duty to protect citizens. How many laws do I look up? When that cop, Sergeant Stryker of Panama City threatened me, he did a felony that's the United States Code Title 18, 241, 242, which is a $10,000 fine and 10 years in prison. Anna Beach was murdered by a local cop in Parker by the name of Mark Baumler because they had a protection racket going on where he wanted to get in our pants. So, what do our citizens do? What do I do?
You have to, for this particular issue, you have to deal with your local law enforcement.
And they won't do anything about it. So now what do I do?
But sir, that's just it. fdle does not get involved in local matters.
What?
They're the responsibility of local law enforcement.
Okay, tell me exactly what Florida Department of Law Enforcement does. Tell me exactly what they do.
In what capacity? Investigatively, we're an investigative agency with statewide jurisdiction. However, we have very specific things, or I should say thresholds, in crimes that we investigate. Local crimes, such as loudspeakers in cars, is not one of the things that we would get involved in.
So now what you're saying, trivialize the crime because American terrorist punks. So it entraps the local citizens under 777 201 of Florida statutes. So now basically the cops set up a trap for innocent citizens only wanting to live in peace, right?
That's not how I see it, sir, but if that's your interpretation...
Let me ask you something. Why is it that when I read the fusion propaganda thing there, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, it says that it invites citizens' input? What's that all about?
Sir, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is open to hearing citizens' concerns of their communities.
Okay, now, how about a citizen concerned about these punks going up and down the road? How about the cops protecting these boom car punks that are going up and down the road? Making it to where citizens that would never even think about. All you gotta do, a boom car punk, if you got one next door, say, pardon me, you mind turning down your party stereo? You mind turning down your boom car? You got an enemy for life. And then the criminals, they spread it around, hey, this is a snitch. Then you got a target on you. Okay?
I'm listening to you.
I'm saying help. And it seems to me like Florida, I looked up the so-called idiot Panama City clown idiots, police complaint form, and you've been better off. They don't give no suggestions about, do you want to remain anonymous? Are you afraid for your life? All it's got on there is, man, I could go to the store and get a roll of toilet paper. It's got more on there for the complaint form and whatnot. But when they go to arrest somebody, they sure got a lot of different things on there. They even got hate crime on there. Well, I contend, number one, that this is a hate crime. The cops are protecting a criminal organization. These boom car punks are highly organized. Have you ever heard something called community-oriented service police grants?
I have, sir.
Alright, there's bulletin number 7 by Michael S. Scott. It's a PDF download that you can download it. Okay, here's something else that you can download right now. What I've tried to do is protect innocent citizens. In Panama City, Florida, they have no mercy on homeless people. They'll throw them in jail for trumped up charges, quietly drinking a beer in the bushes, but these boom car punks can go up and down the road, destroying all rights to be able to live in peace. Now, should they protect the noisemakers or protect the peacemakers?
Sir, I'm not disagreeing that if you have concerns with these guys with loud stereos driving up and down the road, I'm not minimizing your concern. What I'm telling you is the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, that is the responsibility of the local law enforcement agencies. FDLE will not get involved in that issue.
So in other words, what you're saying,
I'm just trying to be straight up.
So what you're saying is, you've got, how many people do you got in the Florida Department of Law Enforcement in Tallahassee?
With Tallahassee? What, you mean sworn people, law enforcement officers?
What does it sworn? Don't mean anything. That don't mean a damn thing. That means they committed perjury under 837 of the Florida statutes. Here's the point. You got over 1,000 people in the Tallahassee office there, and not one of them cares. They look for all kinds of ways not to do anything when it comes to a cop. There's a cop by him. There's a cop by him, Mark Baumia. Go look at the Florida Department of Corrections website. Murdered Anna Beach in Parker, Panama City, Florida area. I'll bet you she probably tried to go to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. They said, nah, it's a local issue, man.
Sir, look, I mean, I also have other calls that I need to answer.
In other words, what you're saying is, you don't care if I get murdered, right? You don't care if I get jailed. You won't do anything, right? You won't do anything, right? Florida Department of Law Enforcement is a big fraud. That's all you are.
I'm going to have to hang up now.
You do framing for the cops, right? Am I correct on that? You do framing for the cops. You don't do any framing on behalf of the citizens. You can or you won't. You're under perjury. You are under perjury right now. You understand that?
No, sir.
You don't
need to go to your local law enforcement agency.
Oh, then you're not needed. You've already proven you're not needed, right? You're a great big fraud.
If you have a
You do framing. You do framing on behalf of the cops. That's what you are. You're a framing organization, right? Yes. Is this the Florida Department of Law Enforcement in Pensacola office?
Well, seems like they sure don't like it when somebody happens to corner them. Absolutely amazing. Poor Eric Garner. I'm sure that he would have just been thrown in the trash, murdered by a New York cop, where the grand jury is basically designed to protect dirty cops. Yet specifically, it states there in the Florida statutes, any triable offense, anybody is entitled to a grand jury. No, it never happens. It only happens just like Eric Garner, okay? You could see he was laying down. That brave punk bully that put the chokehold on him probably in his forearm, he could feel the trachea being smashed. He could feel the cartilage and everything like that. But no, he took somebody who was actually laying down, wasn't fighting, could have very easily let up. There was a whole bunch of cops on him, and murdered that person and the grand jury. Nobody knows who they are. We are under a dictatorship right now in this country. The cops are no longer for citizens. They're there. A lot of times the cops ain't even from the same community. They will purposely have cops that have no ties to the community. Didn't grow up, don't have to answer to nobody or anything like that. And then on top of that, they can fuck all the welfare recipients that they want, because they have no power whatsoever. Anybody who has no connections has no power. Any chick that's walking up down the road, if she ain't got no power, that cop can fuck them. Matter of fact, in Panama City, Florida, there was a Sergeant Stephen Yates that was going around raping welfare recipients, but he made a mistake and got his balls too big and went down to Gulf Coast Community College down there, messed with one of mommy's and daddy's little precious brats, and that's when something happened. So, this is the truest documentation that's ever been done, that I know of, ever will probably ever be done again. Because a lot of times the news, they're basically, they rehearse everything. The news only asks safe questions. I don't ask safe questions.